Hey class, and welcome to week 10. So I hope you guys had a productive week. I know week 9 was a little bit of just kind of a more work-focused week than anything else, and so I hope that that paid off for you, and that you're working with your sources really efficiently, and that you've started to see how this literature review kind of plays out. Now, by now, you should have your introductions to Project 3 back from me with my comments. And so what we're going to do then is we're going to use those to continue to flesh out a more complete draft of Project 3. But more on that in a second. Real quick, I want to talk about 3B again. Something that I want to kind of keep coming back to now that you're getting close to the final day to upload your presentation, which is on Friday. So let's just take a look back at the assignment sheet just to kind of refresh our memories as you prepare to turn it in, if you haven't already. Now, there's two things that I want to talk about here. One of them is I want you to make sure that you're uploading your projects to your peer review group, just so you guys can get a chance to kind of look at each other's and kind of ask questions and things like that. And the other one has to do with what is essentially going to be the invention portfolio for your presentation. Excuse me. But we'll cover that in a second. So just a reminder, Project 3B is that kind of slide presentation, PowerPoint presentation that you'll use to talk about your research in progress. And the reason why I wanted you guys to get this done before the final draft of your literature review is because it's good practice in that kind of synthesis move, like I've said before. And don't forget to make sure that you're recording yourself via the record option in PowerPoint, just kind of talking about your slides. Look back at the past videos if you have any questions, or look at each other's presentations for guidance on there. So what I do want to focus on, though, is the invention portfolio for this project. So I'm just looking here at the Ignite presentation, or our presentation assignment sheet, and you'll notice the minimum requirements. You have your slides, you have your citations, and now, as I said in the last video, for any of the research that you use, or any of like the non-stock image photos that you use, you're going to have to cite those, because those are the same as research that you would use in a paper. And so you could either put the citation on the bottom of the slide in which it's used, or you could just save one slide at the very end and just have all your citations on there, kind of like a works cited page. It's completely up to you how you want to do that. And so then the other thing that I want to focus on then is this invention portfolio. So obviously there will be a digital file. The slide annotations is something I've had questions about. So what I'm looking for are the slide annotations that explain why you chose certain images and how those were the best representation of the ideas in which you're exploring, 1 to 2 pages of writing. Now, there isn't a process memo for 3B like there is for all your other projects, and that's kind of where this idea comes in. And so when you turn in your presentation to the Dropbox, which is, just to refresh our memories, right here, your process memo will essentially be this. It's only about 1 to 2 pages at the most, where you're just talking about why you chose the pictures that you chose, or why you chose to pull any charts or graphs you did. Again, it's very reflective. It doesn't have to be something that is kind of extremely well polished and organized. All I'm looking for is that kind of reflective moment from you saying, look, I chose this one picture because I thought it worked really well, or I thought it was funny, I thought it would get my audience's attention, or I chose this one graph because this is the one that stuck out to me when I was researching. And so you'll just submit that 1 to 2 pages with your presentation when you turn it in. And so that is where the slide annotations will come. You'll turn them in with your presentation. Okay, so let's go back to week 10 then and talk about what's on deck for this week. Now, as you'll notice, again, this week is primarily a work week as you continue to work on completing your literature review. So let's take a look. Again, no real new reading for right now, but what we are doing is we are submitting a rough draft of Project 3. Now, what this should contain is obviously the introduction that you've been working on, as well as I want to see you start to synthesize your sources. And so go back to the past videos that we've talked about this. Go back to the sample assignment that we walked through together, and you can see how these authors are starting to synthesize your sources. So when you're talking about synthesis, what I mean is you're taking two different sources and putting them in conversation with each other. And so if author A and author B are both talking about, say, gender inequality in your field, right? If that's something that you're investigating, what are they each saying about it? So the one might be talking about, income, the other one might be talking about opportunity or something like that, but they're both talking about the same idea. And so your job is to show that relationship, to say, like, author A disagrees with author B when he says this, or author A and B agree with each other and they're trying to push this kind of main idea. Whatever it is, whatever the connection is that you see, that's what we're looking for. And so I want to see kind of a fleshed out draft of that. Obviously, it doesn't have to be like an overwhelmingly complete draft, but it should be getting there, right? I want to see multiple sources being synthesized here. And that's something that I'll ask you guys to take a look at by Sunday and make comments on like you always would. So one of the things that I want to stress in this, in this project is you guys should really take advantage of that peer review group. Because I've had a chance to look at your introduction, I'm not going to be taking a close look and making comments on the full, complete rough draft of Project 3. However, as you will see, you may schedule a conference with me via Skype to talk about your rough draft or talk about anything you want. And I'm happy to, devote a lot of time to that, to having conversations with you, and we can walk through it together if that's what you prefer. So make sure that you're taking advantage of those peer review groups and actually, giving each other generative feedback. I'll post some questions for you when I open up the peer review discussion board for Project 3. Just some guiding questions that'll help you guys make sure that you're getting the most out of this. So just to recap, you'll have all week basically to complete Project 3, to think about it, and then we'll turn around next week and we'll look at completing this draft and start looking at Project 4, because now we're kind of over the hump of the halfway point, and we're going to start to see all the hard work that you've done so far really start to pay off. So this is kind of a short video for this week because it's just kind of keeping in touch, but I will be making more videos throughout the week as you go along. If you'd like, email me if you'd like. I can make another video walking through either Project 3B or 3A, whatever you want. But please feel free to email me and set up a conference via Skype and we can talk and go from there. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will be in touch.